For every sample that you have, you want to create a new key group. I have 3 samples. So I'm going to change this number of number of key groups, to 3. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Lifted Noise. My name is Raul. If you haven't been on my channel, what I do here is MPC live tutorials, beat making videos, and samples. I share those every once in a while. On top of all that, when I first started creating content for YouTube, I envisioned doing vlogs where I documented my journey pursuing a career with music. These vlogs would include me navigating the online resources and platforms available to us as musicians in order to progress myself in that direction. One of these very important resources is a platform known as DistroKid. DistroKid is an online music distribution company that helps musicians just like us get our music out on all the popular platforms. How it works is, as a single artist, you pay only $19.99 for the year, and you can upload as much music as you want. DistroKid distributes to online stores and streaming services such as Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Pandora, YouTube, and is actually the very first to send music out to TikTok. So this little brand I've created known as Lifted Noise has actually helped me take a baby step closer to reaching my dreams, because DistroKid reached out to me in order to sponsor this video. What they did was provided me a VIP link, which you can find in the description of this video. This link will give you 7% off your first year at DistroKid. So if you're at that point in your life where you're ready to start sharing your music with the world, consider clicking this link, because it also helps me out. And if you appreciate what I do, then, well, that'd be a nice thing to do. Alright, so today I want to show you the process of creating a key group manually. So there is the auto sampler in the MPC Live that does it all automatically for you, but what if you have samples that you recorded yourself? How are you going to set that up? So today I'm going to be using some vinyl, and I'm just showing you some of the types of vinyl that I would pick out if I were trying to do this. So I usually go for albums that are like solo instruments intentionally, because they're more likely to have open notes, sustained notes that I can use and then program in so that are playable on a keyboard. So these are some of the albums that I would choose in order to do something like this. So I actually found a record. I have 3 notes that I want to work with. It's just to keep things pretty simple so that you can see the process of working with samples, with multiple samples, multi-samples, that's a way of saying it, and creating a key group with those. Alright, so I have in here a key group program that I created, named it Lifted Dallas Brass. I'm going to load it up and then reverse engineer it for you real quick. So inside the sample edit screen, I have my samples. I have 3 of them. I've already figured out what key they are, what note they are, and they are labeled properly. But just to show you, to demonstrate how I go about that, I'll show you this real quick. So I use one of these tuners here, and I'll just plug the output of the MPC Live into that in order to find the key. So it gives me an A. Next one, B, and then I got an E. As you can see, it says like on all these that they're a little bit sharp, so I'll end up actually tuning them in the MPC. But by default, every sample that you load into the MPC Live, the root note is set to C3 just by default. So C would be here on the keyboard, correct? And 3 just kind of indicates what octave. So the higher the number next to the C, or next to the C, that means the higher on the keyboard it would be. What I'm going to do from here is go ahead and change the root note on all of these. So this one's an E. I'm going to go to E2. Then moving on to my next sample, B. Make this B2. And then change this one to A2. Alright, so I already have a key group created, but for the sake of showing you all how this is done, I'm going to create a new key group and then just recreate the process that I did on that. So we want to hit menu, go to program, edit, and immediately I'm looking at the top. So a key group can contain a number of key groups. So for every sample that you have, you want to create a new key group. I have 3 samples. So I'm going to change this number of key groups to 3. Remaining on 1, and then I'm going to go ahead and start with my first sample. And I'm thinking about this as far as what's lowest on the keyboard. So my sample that is lowest on the key group was actually an E. So I'm going to start with E. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to click on the keyboard here, the keyboard icon. So that'll take me in to this. And this is where I map my samples. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the low key and I'm going to scroll this all the way to the note that my sample is. So I'm going to E2. And I'm just using my big knob here. So E2, and then I'm going to go to the high key and I'm going to do the same thing. The reason I do this is because when I'm working with multiple samples, I want to see where they sit on the keyboard so that when I actually map them so that they're playable, it's easier to see that, and I can, well, you'll see the process. I'll show you in a second. So next I'm going to move out, and then I'm going to go to my next key group, number 2. So the next sample would be the next note moving higher on the keyboard. So it's going to be the A. So again, same step, go to the little keyboard icon, and then on the low key, find the sample that my note is. So I'm going to A2. Okay, and then the high key, I want to do the same thing, just like I did with the last sample and the last key group. Okay, and moving back out, key group number 3, sample. This is going to be changed to my next sample, which is the B. Moving again back into the key group and finding the note and scrolling the low key selection to that note. So did I pass it? No. B2. Doing the same thing with the high key, just as I did with the other ones. Okay. Now that that is done and I have completed filling all my samples into each one of the key groups, if I change this, select this, and go to all, I will now see all of them there. So now I want to actually go again to key group 1, and then I can start selecting the range of notes that that single note will occupy. So what it does is it'll pitch the note. So I'm going to turn the low key to the left, and now that one note will be pitched so that it stretches and playable on the keyboard. So I'm just going to go quite a distance. And then moving on to key group 2, do the same. Actually, I want to go back to key group 1 because I want to go upwards higher with that pitch as well. And then moving on to key group 2, I'm going to do the same. So my A will occupy those notes, and I'll go up 1 as well. And then moving on to key group 3, do the same thing and just kind of stretch it out. So of course, the more samples you have in a key group, the better it's going to sound, because the more you stretch a sample, pitch it, it starts to degrade the quality and it's not as true to the original sound it is. But we're working with vinyl here, and so this is just kind of you get what you can make out of what you got kind of deal. And it sounds cool because, well, I just love vinyl, and you know, this is the sound that you will turn it up now a little bit. Let's see. So now I have a key group. And it should be if you're familiar with the notes on the keyboard, we're doing okay here. But as I said before, you can see if you look at the tuner that it's a little bit sharp. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back in to program edit, and then I have control of my fine and my semi tuning. So what I think I want to do is do my fine tuning, because it's not off by a full semitone. A semitone would be, from here to there. But I'm not a full semitone off. I'm just a bit sharp, so I'm going to use the fine tuning. And I think it was about 45. And I just mess with this and look at the tuner until it starts to get closer to the center. See that? I think I'm supposed to be going the other way. Yeah, I'm supposed to be going the other way because it's sharp, so I'm going negative on this. So, see, it's getting closer to the center. This is where I want it to be. There it is. That's pretty close. So I'm just going to change that on, I think I'm going to, yes, I've changed it to all of them because I had this set to all key groups. So when you have this set to all key groups, every parameter that you change within the program edit for the key group will affect all of the key groups within it. So that may sound confusing because you're creating a key group, but within the key group you have multiple key groups, and each key group contains a different sample. So there it is, just a quick little tutorial for you on how to set up a key group using your own samples. Thanks for joining me. If you guys have any other requests, go ahead and drop them in the comment box. So yeah, stay humble, everybody. Lift noise. My name's Raul. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.